Lobster Bob Cooking Show. I'm your host, Lobster Bob.
Gotta fill up my beer. Oh yeah. Okay, so in all seriousness, here's how we're gonna do things today. The Chicken Pizzaiola. We're gonna start with the chicken breasts. So we're gonna fillet them and we're gonna pound them out real nice. Once they're pounded out, we're gonna make this cauliflower broccoli puree, nice thick sauce. And we're gonna put that as a base layer on top, top it with some cheese, roll it up, and pop it in the oven. After that, we'll make our vegetables. It's gonna be a great day. It really is, right? Cheers. This is my hat. Can't talk to you right now.
The first step is filleting your chicken. I don't like the excess fat around the edges, so I'll just go ahead and take that off. Just want to create a little bit of an opening. Push down on it because we're going to pound it out later.
It's like vaginal rejuvenation.
Oh, it goes so smoothly, it's cutting like butter.
Get out of my shot. Trying to give people some information.
Ooh. Yeah, but the information you give is false, but accurate.
Alright, he filleted, and now it's my job to pound them out. This is fun as shit!
So that's what we in the industry call sexual man butter.
Alright, I'm Lobster Bob. You're gonna take some cauliflower and you're gonna throw some cauliflower on the cutting board. Yeah. And then you're gonna take some broccoli flour and throw some broccoli flour on the cutting board. And I was gonna chop it, but I'm realizing I'm putting it in a food processor, which doesn't need chopping. So it's pretty simple stuff, really. You just take both them shits and put them shits in the food processor, like so. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's perfect. Perfect in every way. I probably put way too much in here, but I don't care, because the lid's going on. And click. And we pulse. Shit, I broke it. And continue pulsing. Hell yeah. And this is the part where you can actually sing while you chop.
We're here to grab the most important cooking utensil for today's episode of Lobster Bob, the skillet. I'm gonna place it right here, and you will just see what we use this for. You'll be excited.
Alright, so we're gonna take our mixture, our cauliflower and broccoli flour mixture, and we're gonna put it in the pan with salt, pepper, and butter. Yay! I'm not really sure how much butter to use, so I'm just gonna throw a bunch of it in. Yeah. And then the salt and the pepper, that's an easy task. So we're gonna take the salt, we're gonna sprinkle some salt in, and we're gonna take some pepper, and we're gonna sprinkle some pepper in. I like doing that. And then we're gonna mix it up until it's cooked. Oh, this is gonna be fantastic. All right, so after you cook your broccoli and your cauliflower, add some Parmesan cheese. There's no set amount because people who measure their food are tools. So that's what we're gonna do here. We're just gonna add a large custom amount of cheese and we're gonna blend it really nice. Once that's blended, we're gonna shut that heat off. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know a guy named Dan that's addicted to Parmesan cheese. And I once took him to a farm to get help. But that just enabled him. Do a little bit of a mixy mix. Everyone's real happy now. And then we're gonna take a little bit of our special ingredient that no one's ever heard of before. We call it milk. And we're just gonna add a little bit of milk. Very small amount. Very small amount. And it's off the heat. All right, you can just lift it off the burner if it's too hot by that point and just blend nicely and just keep stirring. Keep stirring. For no apparent reason at all, just keep stirring. And never stop stirring. Stir for the next 40 years.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
All right, do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Drink, 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 drink! Drink! I'm gonna season the chicken now. So we take this red stuff. It's called pig's blood, or is it called paprika? I don't really know. I'm gonna just throw a bunch of paprika on there. Then I'm gonna take some crushed red pepper and then make a mess over here just like that. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of Parmesan cheese and I'm gonna go a little bit like this. Like, should I add honey, Michael?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a little honey, why not? Because honey's right here, and I don't know if it's supposed to be there, and now we're just gonna wait 2 freaking hours for the honey to reach its destination point. There we go, look at that honey. That is a perfect amount of honey. Add a little bit of olive oil to that. That's good. Now we take a little bit of salt and pepper, salt, take a little pepper, lots of pepper. Oh yeah, that's good. Then you take your most important set of tools that you have, your hands, and you mix the shit out of this stuff. All right, we got a bowl of mozzarella, and we got this sexually seasoned chicken right here. We're gonna make our pizzaiola now.
Lobster Bob, I don't think you understand just how thin and unconventional these pieces of chicken are. You need to be very gentle.
Lobster Bob, I do what I want because I'm Lobster Bob.
We're gonna take this cast iron skillet and we're gonna place it right here next to this mostly drinking cup of coffee.
All right, so you're gonna run into some issues, pretty much with shredded pieces of chicken. Now this is not anybody's fault. There's nothing you can do to prevent this because this happens naturally over the course of time. Sometimes chickens just come naturally like that. When you see chickens walking around and they have a limp, you know that when you cook them, they're actually it's gonna be coming out like this. It's just gonna be just coming out like this. We're not doing a stir fry dish, Mike. We're not doing a stir fry dish.
I am Lobster Bob, and you can't say no to me. It's my show. I am the host.
I'm gonna kill you. We're gonna use all the scraps. This looks like chicken lingerie. And we're gonna lay it just like this. We're gonna pretend like we know what we're doing. So we're gonna take our puree that we made before, and we're gonna just throw it on there. Just like that. You're gonna take your hands, well, it's still warm. It's like sticking your hand into a moist vagina. So you're gonna take your hands and we're gonna go like this, okay? Because this isn't culinary 101, people. This is this meal for the everyday man. So if it looks like this or it looks like this, it's gonna taste the fucking same. Enjoy! You're taking a mozzarella, and then you bake it in the oven like a pizza. Who took my fucking apron and untied it?
I did.
Get off the floor.
I'm Lobster Bob, and I'm gonna place this cast iron skillet on the counter next to the frying pan for symmetry.
Oh, people said it couldn't be done. I made a fucking chicken meatloaf, which is not really on the menu. It's just an oversized pizzaiola. So we just gotta call Rick Moranis in here with his Honey I Shrunk the Kids machine, and we'll shrink this down, and we'll eat it. You take a little bit of olive oil, and you drizzle olive oil on the tops. Oh yeah, drizzle, 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 drizzle. That's a nice amount of olive oil. You take your hands, and you just rub it. You caress it, you pat it, and you call it sweet things like pumpkin sniffer. Then you take some black pepper, and you sprinkle black pepper nonchalantly on top of everything. Then you take some salt, and you sprinkle salt on top of everything. And then you wrap it in aluminum foil, and then you bake it like a boss. All right, never said this was gonna be easy. So take out your aluminum foil, take your pan cooking spray, and spray the foil with your pan cooking spray. That's step number 1. Step number 2 would be to get your meatloaf, your chicken loaf, your pizzaiola, and then you wrap it very tightly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like a burrito. Stick it out the sides. Just shove that back in. You shove it in. It starts to poke out the sides. Get a little more foil and just fix it. And that is ready to go in the oven. Okay, so since we have one gigantic pizzaiola, we're gonna place that in the middle of this oven. Just like that. About 15 minutes in the oven at 450 degrees because we want this to cook almost all the way first before adding our little minions. This gigantic piece of meatball with cauliflower and broccoli in it, my brother Lobster Bob myself has created. We'll go in the oven first for about 15 to 20 minutes. You want to put it right in the middle there to get some even cookingness. And close her up and play the waiting game. Oh, the waiting game. Oh, the waiting game. I wish there wasn't a waiting game. We have an egg and don't know what to use it for. Alright, so we're going to take this out. It's been in there for about 15 minutes. And we're going to take the other little guys and we're going to put them in there like so. We're gonna save this phallic-like piece for the end. 30 minutes on high. All right, this is a very simple procedure. We're gonna fry up some green beans as our side. So, as you see, I have my cutting board here. You're gonna wanna take some fresh garlic and mince that up real nice. So, with that said, you take the garlic and you throw it right in the pan. Isn't that beautiful? Why don't you take some butter, all right, with your hands, because no one uses spoons, and you're gonna throw that in there just like that. With the cutting board that you were gonna mince your fresh garlic with, you actually just use it to make noises. You're gonna pretend this is a gas stove, and you're gonna go like this. See how that's working? So, once your garlic is on there and the butter starts melting, you're gonna swish it around in a custom-like fashion, and I like to do figure eights. Go do figure eights, because figure eights actually cook the garlic much better than just going in little circles that are random. Now the garlic's gonna burn very, very, very fast. So it's your opportunity to take your fresh green beans that I picked from the Garden of Eden and throw them in, like so. Just like that. And you're gonna give it a little toss. Just like this. You're gonna just toss it. And that's pretty much it. I also like to do a little bit of an olive oil butter mix, so I just put a little olive oil in there because I like the taste, because it's sterile like my urine. And then finally, add a little hot sauce. This is Cholula. A little salt to taste, and a little pepper. And you're just gonna stir that up until it smells like something that's edible.
That, I think, was sharpened. It's soft.
All right, if you're smart, you take real soft butter and you cut it with a knife. And then you throw it into a pot. While your butter is melting, you get your lovely assistant, Lobster Bob, to get you some flour. And you start making your roux. All right, and you let that go. Now you're gonna take your wine, your white wine, you do a little bit of white wine in the green beans. You're gonna wanna get a different spoon at this point. So you're gonna take this special spoon that's right here. These spoons were actually invented in ancient Thailand. There's actually 2 spoons attached to one rod. We call this the rod spoon. And then we're gonna just go like this and do a little mixy mix. And we're gonna burn that alcohol up and take it off the heat and it's done. To steam it with perfection, you're also gonna wanna put that on low and add this custom lid that I forged with my hands over an open fire.
All right, we have our blonde roux here. Still nice and liquidy. I'm gonna crank up the heat here to make sure it's really hot. I'm gonna go ahead and add the chicken broth and stir with a whisk. Let it simmer for about 15 minutes and it will thicken up for you. And you season it with salt and pepper and you have your gravy.
All right, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna put the little guy in there. We're gonna take this and we're gonna flip it. We're gonna rotate it on this other side. We're also gonna rotate these other guys too.
Look at
this
that
guy and this guy. And
You can imagine what the inside looks like.
it probably looks like a severed vagina.
We're gonna make fresh mashed potatoes straight from my grandmother. You hear that sizzle? Yeah. I'm gonna let you melt a little bit. I'm gonna bring it up to a boil. Because I'm impatient, I'm gonna add the salt early so that the boiling temperature decreases and boils faster. Grandma always taught me to use the perfect potatoes and milk. We're gonna add our milk, and we're gonna keep it at a steady stir so the milk doesn't curdle. We're then going to add our Hungry Jack potatoes. Only the best potatoes in the land. Oh yeah. Keep on stirring them. They'll go ahead and connect to all the proteins inside of the milk. Now that our timer has gone off, we're too good for thermometers, so we're just gonna go ahead and take it out of here. This pan is probably ruined, but it's okay. It's from about 12, 13 years ago. It feels tender. The smaller ones may or may not cause extreme diarrhea.
I am Lobster Bob, and this is the cast iron skillet. I'm going to place the cast iron skillet for the time being in the refrigerator, right above the cake. And as you can see, the cake is releasing fumes that are going to absorb into the cast iron skillet for optimal cooking sensation.
We're gonna go ahead and cut up our chicken after we let it rest for a little bit.
Hopefully it's cooked.
Oh, beautiful.
Perfectly cooked. Moist, tender, like a baby's asshole.
This was the Chicken Pizzaiola experience. I am Lobster Bob.
No, you're not. I am.
No, I'm Lobster Bob.
No, you're not. I am.
I've always been Lobster Bob.
No, you really haven't. Mine! Yeah!